Hello, welcome. Let me know if you can hear me on this mic I'm trying out today. I'm hoping it'll work out good. Hey, Mike. Thanks, man. Is it working still? We tested the mic earlier. It said it was a thumbs up, so I'm hoping it's still good. All right. Thank you. Good, good, good. Hey, welcome, everybody. Welcome. Appreciate you coming back. If you're returning, that's awesome. If you're new here, let me know by typing in a 1. If you've never seen me before or know what I do. Scoop back here. I'm vibrating the table a little bit. Sorry, guys. I don't want anybody getting seasick or nauseated while we're on this. Just wait for a couple more people to join here. We'll get started shortly. I hope you'll be thinking about the maybe labels that you've thought about in terms of people, and I'm not a big fan of them. So maybe you can contribute labels that you've heard or know, or even maybe been labeled yourself that you could share with the group here, and tell us how you felt about them, because they suck. Yes. So anybody joining here for the rebroadcast, I want to say thank you for taking time away from your life to check this out. I hope you find it valuable. I hope to bring good content for you. So that's all I'm hoping for, is just to serve you well and make it worth your time for being here. Yes, yes. Oh my gosh, yes. They do suck, and you're right, special needs kids. So you and I, Mike, we both have one, and they get labeled a lot and misunderstood. It can be pretty hard on us as parents too, that's for sure. When people don't understand, they just make a judgment from the outside. I kind of understand, but they got to take time to maybe understand and not be so judgmental, right? So, all right. Hey, welcome. Thank you for joining. So, if you don't know who I am and you're new to this, can you just type a 1 real quick to let me know that you're new to this, so that I'll obviously, I'm going to do an introduction on who I am real quick as well, but I'd like to know who's new on here potentially, if anybody. This is just my second scope here, just getting started on dailies, and just again wanting to bring good content, good value. So let's get started and talk about this labels thing that drives me crazy. One of the things I want to say about myself is my name is Eric Alber. I'm a registered nurse for over 10 years. I've been serving the community and such. I'm also, oh, okay, cool. Thank you. Thanks for coming back, Rebecca. Is that right, Rebecca? Yes. Okay, cool. So anyway, yeah, and I've also been in about a 4-year journey, and kind of fell into a serious passion for food and fitness and attitude, I call it, but mindset, mind change, and taking all the experience I've learned in the medical world that I was a part of, and just using that information to bring value to this for you, that hopefully if you're not sick, you can avoid it, and if you're dealing with stuff, we can help you out of it ultimately, because I've seen enough terrible stuff on the other side of it, working in the ER many years, and also some surgery side of things, and it's heartbreaking to see the stories of lives that have been fractured and damaged due to just poor decision making. So that's one of my main goals with this, is just to keep it real. That's why it's real health. That's my attitude. So you're going to get straight, plain information here. You're going to get truth from my perspective, again, with all that medical background, and just yesterday's scope, you can check it out in the history. Hopefully it still should be up. Maybe just it was about just trusting your doctor, and realizing in this day and age we can't. And so I don't mean not trust them in the truest sense, but you can't just assume they understand your situation, what you're doing for you is right, and that's it, and you just kind of trug on down the road for life. You gotta be an advocate for yourself. You gotta be doing research on your own and learning things that can help you. And I believe, and I'm fully persuaded, that now, after going through some fitness and health journey myself, that we can correct and right, or modify, or significantly increase. Yes, I am on Catch. Thank you, Mike. Yes, I am on there. And as far as helping our health issues, I think they can either be corrected again, righted, or significantly reduced. And so what I offer is a custom meal plan that I've actually just started on in the little bit of time here, and I've found it to be fabulous. I've done a lot of different ones, and when you do the PFC every 3, which is protein, fat, carbs, and you measure them out in proper portions, and you do it to a certain amount of calories per what your goal is, it works. Cravings gone, energy's high, losing. I can't say enough about it. So that's one of the things I definitely have. If you're interested, you can find me at Real Health with Eric at gmail.com. That's one of the ways you can get in touch with me. Also on my website, again, kind of under construction, some old stuff still there. I'm working on it. Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Good. Hi, amen to that, right? So, if you're interested in any information on getting healthy yourself, you can always hit me up at that email address. Stop by at ericalbert.com. Again, just be mindful that's under construction. So, anyway, getting on with this, the labels thing. I think the biggest thing that they suck for me, and Mike and I were just mentioned for our special needs kids, that's tough. For one, it's heartbreaking. But I think in the medical sense, the biggest thing I find with the labels, it's very limiting. And I think I talk to people. I'm in a very unique position where I hear from a very large amount of people on a daily basis on things that are just not working in the system for them, or things that are troubling them. And the one thing that constantly comes up is this: I'm a diabetic. And I think that's probably the biggest one that people label themselves as in this world, especially in the medical side of it. That's just it's like chalkboard, scratching sound, and it just, I just want to scream out, no, you're not a diabetic. You are fill in the blank, Joe Smith, Rebecca, James, I don't know. Whatever your name is, that is who you are. And don't accept some label as who you are and some medical understanding, because that's not who you are. You're a person, and you've got feelings, you've got a choice, you've got a chance to be better. And so that's probably the biggest thing I don't like is I'm a diabetic. And so then they're limiting, and they just kind of close down into some foregone conclusion almost. So like, here's the pathway to diabetes. This is what a diabetic has. And so if you don't manage those sugars really well, you're going to lose limbs. And I've seen it. I've seen the weeping, horrible, awful looking legs. I'm telling you guys, it's terrible. Yes. And when we're 25 and 20 and younger, or we always have that next door person, the person next door mentality. It's always the other guy that's going to have that problem, not me. I'm going to be fine. Well, maybe, but when you have diabetes and you don't take it seriously, and I believe, again, with diabetes, you manage your blood sugar even before it becomes that. Pre-diabetic is starting to become a real popular term too, by the way. I don't know what that is, but I don't know. Anyway, that's another story. But really, once you know your blood sugar's off, you balance it. It's not off anymore, and you do the right things. Which, again, the Venice Nutrition program that I'm studying to be a nutrition certified and everything in with the PFC3. Is that, I say that right? PFC3, yeah. Protein, fats, and carbs on balance, and you do the right calorie intake, and you do the quality foods, and you get rid of some of obviously the refined sugars are out. They just should be out, period, no matter what meal plan you follow or diet you're on. Those just need to be gone. Sugar is horrible for you. Yeah, you got it, Mike. Absolutely. They scare you with labels, and that puts you in a box. It just forces you in a box. You're limited. And then you start having false beliefs. You just start believing, I feel like Eeyore is the perfect diabetic picture to me, like when in mindset, like, oh boy, here I am, I'm a diabetic. And there's just like no hope. It's horrible. And it's not true. But it feeds an industry. And I hate to say it, but the medical, it's an industry, guys. It is. Call it what it is. There's an appropriate label, okay? They're in it for business. I know that a lot of people that I rub shoulders with as nurses and doctors and mid-levels and whatever, PAs and you name it, and hospital administrators and all those that make things go to help service us when we're broken and when we're needing fixing, and unfortunately the disease management that we do poorly at, that they try to manage, they're innocent. They really are trying to help. They genuinely want to make a difference in the lives of the people they serve. And that's why I got into it. But I wasn't satisfied seeing the brokenness, because I have family, I have a brother, I have siblings, and you know, and I have moms and dads and aunts and uncles and all those people that you love so much that come in and are broken and destroyed, and in some ways I think lied to, honestly, just because there's the pill. It's the easy fix, and shame on us in some ways for being willing to just take the pill and walk away and go, oh cool, that'll fix everything, when it doesn't. So, you know, then going back to the labels thing, the other thing I was going to say, it forms complacency, so then you get into just trusting the process and never looking at alternatives and looking into other things that might make a difference. Yes, no flu shot. Oh man, I was in a position as an RN in another facility back east where I was forced to take the flu shot or I didn't have a job. Awful. I've never had it in my entire life. My immunity is fabulous. The last thing I want to do is do something like that. Absolutely. Don't get me started. So again, like I was saying, the complacency and the self-doubt and the Eeyore mentality mindset about, you know, being labeled as a something, you know, with a medical problem, you again blindly sometimes start to lean on experts. And so I'm here to tell you, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that because there are alternatives. There's a lot of great homeopaths out there. I think chiropractors have a value. And I got to tell you guys, my paradigm has totally shifted because I was once all medical and they were the cat's meow, the bomb diggity, okay? But then I started, like I said, I saw the fracture in it. I saw the inconsistency, people falling through. And so I slowly swung over to being way more open. It took some time, but I was being way over to the other side of understanding that there's alternatives that do work. And the biggest thing I want to get through in my scopes from here on out to eternity until the Lord takes me home is that you can trust your nutrition and it truly will work and it will be thy medicine, as Hippocrates said. And you know what? The biggest thing is fixing the gut if it's not working right, because that's where he said disease all begins. Good digestion, good wholesome nutrition in balance. It's where it's at. So and again, I think at the end of the day, when we boil all down the labels thing, when we accept it, we ended up becoming victims, right? We take the victim mentality. It's not my fault. They told me it was this. They told me it was that. And at the end of your life, if you know, in certain cases, like I said, with diabetes, whatever, you may not have a leg. You may not have toes. You might have not your eyesight. Your kidneys could be failing, be on dialysis. I mean, so much. I believe so much more now, in my understanding and where I'm at, that blood sugar control is the key. And again, the nutrition plan that I've been introduced to by Fitness by Felicia is spot on. I've never found anything so good and so like it. That balancing that blood sugar needs to be between like 80 and 120. That's really where we want to be. And so frequency of meals, a smaller amount and a specific calorie intake, and then again the protein, fats, and carbs, those macros being in balance, those are perfect. Yeah, definitely see more working at the hospital, absolutely. And you know, the nutrition they offer for these ailing people is awful. Even like when one of the biggest things we know with sugar is bad, they offer all these carbs still to these diabetics even, and it's horrible. And then cancer patients, they go and they give them sugar. There's candy at their offices. That dye that they put in on the PET scan to find where metastasis is at, it's all glucose. It's sugar radiated. Because that's the first thing that cancer cells love is sugar. But yet, here we are. And again, I don't think it's intentional, like, oh, we're going to feed them more sugar so they'll get more cancer. I mean, there might be somebody higher up that's got an evil plot and plan. I'm not a big conspiracy guy. Please don't read into that either. But I mean, it's a business. What happens if cancer just went away? What do you think that would do to the economy? Have you ever thought about that? That's what scared me. I had a friend who lost his son to cancer at 3 years of age. And that's when all of this shifted for me, because I saw the pain, I saw the heartbreak, I saw it all. And I was like, there's got to be a better way. And then my own health concerns, it played into that as well. Yeah, they'd go out of business, and really it would shift the economy, I think, quite significantly. Sad to say, but it's true. And I think the part that hurts me the most is that there's real people at the end of that plan of care that's put out there that get affected, real people. And my buddy lost his 3-year-old, and it's been over 5 years, and they'll never be the same. They will never be the same. And it's a shame. And I've lived through there vicariously through them, and because we're so close, and the pain, the agony, the birthdays, everything, just, it's awful. So, you know, don't accept the label, don't accept anything that's limiting in your belief. Yes, it is a shame. And, just know that you've got a name, and you represent a name in your family that you should be proud of. Even if you're not proud of maybe some of the family members, but just know that you have a name that it matters, and that you're going to go out there and live the best life you can and share it forward, and own that. And hopefully with this information, knowing that there are alternatives, you don't have to accept the diagnosis. You can say, thank you for your opinion. I appreciate it. I'll take what reality is there, and I'll assess it appropriately, but I'm going to look at all my options, and don't rush into any kind of judgment or treatment plan right away without doing your homework. Come to quality people that have seen what the alternatives are and what they can be to be of help. So any questions, comments, thoughts, anything at all? And anybody got some labels that they that are just make the yuck factor go high in their meter? Anything at all? And if you find this scope, thank you very much. And if you find this helpful, I do appreciate the shares. If you just tap the screen and swipe up on the Android, or swipe down to the right there, or across. My phone's turned landscape right now, but anyway, I appreciate the shares and the follows. I'm hoping that I can make a help in other people. Keeping people informed, essentially. That's what I want to do. And just from that, again, from my medical perspective side, and continue to bring good value and content to people. So I appreciate the shares. GI physician said it's a wonderful nutrition plan. Yes, it is. I've gone up and down on many yo-yos and tried many of them, and I think the most fascinating thing, honestly, with the Venice nutrition plan and balancing the blood sugar and being that your focus, I've never been able to kill cravings. That for sure has never been successful. And this, zero, gone, shockingly gone. No draw to it. I don't feel like I got it. It's fabulous. So that's the one thing I can say that never any other plan I've ever been on was helpful in at all. Energy through the roof still. I've had to supplement a little bit. Yep, I have no more Yeah, see? Awesome. Yes. There's worthy of hearts right there, baby. No cravings. Who doesn't want to get rid of those deals? The sugary, the salty ones. Oh my gosh. Ice cream and pizza, man. Those are like my shackles, one arm in each one, and I could never break that one. I still probably could falter in it because of the addiction to it, but darn it, they're good. And you know what, off-plan meal once in a while, oh yeah, I'll enjoy it, but I won't indulge and go overboard. So it's been wonderful. So again, if you just joined, I hope you'll go back and check out the rebroadcast of this, but just a quick introduction to myself. My name's Eric Alber. I'm a registered nurse. I've been in the field for over 10 years serving the community, stumbled into fitness and home workouts and stuff on my own, and just became passionate. It's what I want to do, and use the knowledge of the medical world to help people trust their nutrition. I've got the custom nutrition plan I put people on to help them balance blood sugar. And one of the things in the medical world, we use the word homeostasis, which means internal balance. So as much as this will help lose a lot of weight, burn fat, and turns your body into that, but it's really about the internal balance. And when you can balance the internal, the external follows suit. The whole body, that's where people with blood sugar issues and other problems, in medical, diagnosed problems, the body's always compensating to level. And then once youth starts to kind of not be on our side so much anymore, then the lack of exercise, and as you can see, it just kind of slowly, all those things that the body used early on to balance just kind of don't have the way to compensate anymore. And then that's when we get the diagnosis, but it's been years in the making. And so, like, even cancer, they don't see this tumors or anything, well, at least 5 to 7 years after it's already started. That's how long it takes. So doing things now to get the internal balance to right things will save you a lot of headache and a lot of scary conversations and down the road. And hopefully all we have to worry about is the traumatic ones that we can't control, and we're all in that situation, and we do things as careful as we can. But to me, that's where medical is superb, and where they should be is the weird stuff we can't figure out. They have great diagnostics for things, and when you're broken, and need fixing, that's really what we should be there for. And if something's not working right, to repair it, to fix it. If you're bleeding, they can fix the vessels. I mean, the heart that's misaligned, those kinds of things. That's, to me, what the genius of what we have in the medical world should be really focused on and managing well, because they don't manage disease at all very well. So that's my input. I hope you'll continue to show up and bring your followers with you, and just support this, share this out, and let's get people healthy together. That's all my main heart and passion is serve other people and make lives better. So I thank you guys for your time. I don't want to take out too much more of it. I hope you'll enjoy the rest of your evening with your families, and we'll be meeting back again tomorrow at 4:30. God bless you guys. Thank you.